Welcome into the Fans Only Sports Network and welcome to semifinals action here from North Haven High School in Connecticut. The New England Conference Championships tournament hosted by Quinnipiac. Here is our semifinals second game of the day. Brown University taking on Quinnipiac University, the host school. Charlie Adams on play-by-play with Matt Vucinos doing the camera work here. Proud to bring you this NCLL lacrosse action. Gearing up for nationals in Maryland. Next weekend, all live, all free on the Fans Only Sports Network. We'll be excited to bring you those games. But first, these teams have to punch their tickets, and it starts right now. 12-minute running quarters here. 4 of them, and winner goes on to face UMass Amherst in our championship game at 1:30 p.m. Quinnipiac out of the gate with possession with Jared Chase now moving it to the corner. From the corner, it's Eric Lawton. Now Lawton corner to corner from the X. The Brown Bears wearing their brown jerseys, taking on the white jerseys of Quinnipiac. Wind picking up here as we approach noontime in Connecticut. Thank you to everyone tuned in live or on demand. We are watching our NCLL coverage. Appreciate your support. You can also support us on our social medias at FO Sports with a Z on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter. Keep up with all streaming, games being streamed, where to watch, when to watch, all the good stuff, all the good news that Fans Only Sports has to bring here. As that quick shot knocked down. Save tough made by Brown as it rolls out of bounds. Starting in goal for Quinnipiac will be Will Burkowski. As the Bobcats move it to the wing. This is the number 2 seed taking on the number 3 seed. It was the number 4 seeded UMass that took down our number 1 seed Bryant in our earlier matchup. If you missed that live, catch it on demand. The same playlist that you found this game, you can find the Bryant versus UMass that started off our day. Quinnipiac with Hunter Nell going back and forth and scoring it. He's electrified as he puts away the first score of our second semifinal game and has Quinnipiac out in front. The Bobcats are out in front to start this one in our first quarter. Hunter Nell pushes the Bobcats in front. I believe Brown got rewarded with a free face-off there because of the celebration coming from Nell. A little bit deemed unnecessary, especially this early on. Cost the Bobcats a little, but they get a takeaway here with their goalie clearing it out down the near sideline. Bouncing it around, Alex Wanatic finally brings it in before passing it over. And a hard shot from Wanatic, missing the mark, still in play, trying to get it back to him. Somehow got colder, or at least it feels that way as the day's gone on. With the wind picking up now, it's supposed to get over to 70 degrees. I don't really believe that one bit, as interception opportunity for Jared Chase is knocked out of bounds, and it just ends up being Brown possession farther up the field. Near the sideline as the Bears unable to keep it in. Losing possession Quinnipiac moving into the corner. Brendan Fitzgerald holds it from way outside, taking his time as he now passes to the wing into the slot for Quinnipiac and gets it back to Fitzgerald. Shot goes wide from the Bobcats, out of bounds. Possession will stay with Quinnipiac, trying to punch a ticket here to the national championships in Maryland. Pick set for Fitzgerald, who moves towards the point before dealing it to the wing and getting it to Ryan Maher. Now in the X, pushing the action forward, the shot taken. Brown can't find it, and now putting a cover on it with the whistles blowing. There's a flag on the play. The flag gets picked up here. And it's going to be against Brown. So man up chance for Quinnipiac. We resume the action in the X, and it's sent over to the wing. Up to the point now for Maher. The ball's going to roll. And near the sideline, Quinnipiac looked to save it unsuccessfully. It becomes Brown's possession. Brown now on the attack, looking to even things up early on in our first quarter. The lower seeded team in this 4-team tournament. The middle seeds taking on one another for a chance to face UMass at 1:30 p.m. Won't want to miss that one. Be live here on the Fans Only Sports Network as the Bears continue to pass the ball along. Now from the wing, the shot goes wide. Just to the right, it'll roll out of bounds, and the Bears will keep it in their possession. Quinnipiac with the much larger bench compared to Brown. Plenty of options waiting on the sidelines for the Bobcats. Can't say the same for Brown, but a similar roster size to the UMass Amherst team, where it didn't seem to hurt them too much as they punched their ticket to our New England Conference Championship. The Bears lose possession as Connor Purcell gets it knocked away, and now the Bobcats are pushing it up the field. At midfield, a spin around keeps it on sides. Nifty pass to keep the offense going forward for Quinnipiac as Jared Chase passes it. Now wrapping it around, no look, trying to go over the shoulder for Nick Rios. And now Brown gets it out of immediate danger, moving up the far sideline, forced backwards, Paul Montes. Now whistle's going to blow with the flag on the play. Stops things here in our first quarter. Man in the penalty box for Quinnipiac. It's a man-up chance for the Bears. Player still in the penalty box for Quinnipiac as Brown looks to equalize. Ball over to Cosienda. Now a wide look from Schulman, fired over the net. Rolls out of bounds, stays Brown possession. And a last-second shot sent in and scored on by Connor Purcell ties this game up. The Bears even it at 1 apiece. And if I heard correctly on the field, I think we're just seconds away from the end of our first quarter. We'll do a face-off here. And with the face-off, it heads Quinnipiac's direction where they scoop it up in their own end, toss it over the top. A diving effort on defense as Brown pulls it into the X. Sun starting to peek out a little here. We were supposed to be getting sun around 3. It's definitely gotten brighter over in North Haven, Connecticut. Now the Bears trying to get out in front with Phillip Park charging in. There's a lot of whistles going on in North Haven now with players playing lacrosse on the field across from here. Got to keep your head on a swivel with all this lacrosse action taking place. As Quinnipiac passes from their goal to the left and now will go cross field on a bounce. Trying to move it forward. A long pass connecting there. Through to midfield. Now a double team will stop Quinnipiac in their tracks before advancing. The stick broken of the Bears defender will send him off the field and send the Quinnipiac back out in front. The Bobcats swing it home, beating the double team, breaking a stick, and taking the lead once again. Quinnipiac out in front as the Bears defender carries his broken lumber to the bench area. No more use for that. Betraying him and giving up the even matchup here. Quinnipiac leads 2-1. Off the face-off. The Bears fall on top of it and now take over possession. Passed along. Now with A.J. Schulman, who has a soft brace on his left kneecap. Spinning around there. Finds it out in front. The shot just saved by Burkowski. Now a hard send in. Burkowski stops it again, going low to knock it away into the corner. Ball will roll out of bounds, and it'll be Quinnipiac possession with our first quarter continuing on here. You can start to hear that wind picking up. And that will do it for our first quarter. couple of whistles, end it with the Bobcats out in front 2-1 over the Bears. We'll be back shortly with second quarter action here live on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back into the Fans Only Sports Network. Second quarter on your doorstep with the score 2-1 in favor of the Bobcats. Quinnipiac struck twice, and they have the latest score here. Hunter Nell started the scoring off. It's been an exciting first quarter. Hopefully the second quarter more of the same as we face off at midfield with Quinnipiac scooping it up after a little back and forth. John Ladania, taking charge. Now with the ball in the X and possession still in Quinnipiac's hands, they move it up towards the point. Jack Crutt whips one way wide, way out of play into the netting. Gonna need a 20-foot goal to catch that one, as the Bobcats still with possession. Crutt moved it to the wing, as trying to force his way forward. Ryan Maher passes away. Now a hard shot. Was that a leg save from Brown? Near the sideline. The Bobcats forced to the ground. Possession stays with Quinnipiac. Play resuming. It's a pass to Crutt. Crutt gets it to the slot. What was that? 4 o'clock shot attempt there. Trying to remember my analog clocks here. Say that was pretty accurate as Brown takes it up now offensively up the field with Noah Silverman. Now they'll take their time in the corner with Luke 2. Passed over. Now into the X for the Bears. And a big collision, a shot, and a score for Brown. The Bears don't trail for long here, as again they'll tie up the game at 2 apiece. The Bears keep putting on the pressure here. 2-2. We entered this quarter again 2-1 if you're just joining us. Just evened it back up. And we're at midfield for our face-off. Thank you to everyone here tuned in, watching on the Fans Only Sports Network. And off the face-off, we're going to have a whistle and possession given to Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac in the white and brown. I don't need to tell you what color they're wearing if you're just joining us. Pretty good crowd here for Quinnipiac, who are hosting this tournament right down the street from their university at North Haven Middle School and High School. Both side-by-side concessions being provided from North Haven boys and girls lacrosse, as well as some youth teams around the area. Bears able to corral that defensively and now look to clear it out down the sideline. Noah Silverman with an elbow pad, 2 of them. Passes it along, has it taken away by the Bobcats, and now Quinnipiac at midfield just toss it up towards their sideline where it's taken in and crossed over from end to end by Nick Rios, or side to side. Now Quinnipiac trying to direct traffic from the X, have it taken away on that pass attempt. Up the field, Paul Hughes takes it in, and Hughes now in full stride, sends it over. It's going to go out of bounds, deflected, and there's a Brown player down on the field. He's hurting there, and that'll send a man to the penalty box for Quinnipiac, the number 2 of Brendan Fitzgerald. As players take a knee here, hopefully the Brown player down on the field's okay. This game even 2-2, being 10-2 here by the trainers. We'll take a break on our end. We'll be back with game action when we return. An injury timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back here, 2-2 off that injury timeout. Paul Hughes up and walking to the sideline. Glad to see that. Hopefully able to return at some point in this game as we're in our second quarter with just under 8 minutes to go. Action resumes with the Bears in possession. Passing it over near the point now at the wing for Park. Park gets it back up. And again, got to keep track of these whistles. There's a game on the field across from here playing, and they're kind of messing with our heads here. Fight through it as that shot goes wide from the Bears out of bounds. It'll be Quinnipiac possession. Now Burkowski being closely defended, just has to fling it to the sideline where it's going to bounce out of bounds. The Bears remain on the man-up advantage. Wind starting to die down here. The heat starting to turn up as the Bears tried to turn up the heat. Took their look for their first lead of the game. Couldn't get it to go. They've played from behind for the majority of this one. But some offensive stretch here that's gone on for a while. Scooped up by Burkowski and thrown out to midfield. Now a loose ball. Fought over. Pushed forward over to Connor Purcell, the first goal scorer for Brown. Gets it back. Now big collision. Helmets colliding with helmets as a flag's on the play. Brown continues with their man-up advantage, looking to take the lead for the first time here today. Purcell saves it near the sideline from going out of bounds and now unable to connect with A.J. Schulman on that pass. Now we'll get the whistle for the penalty going against Hunter Nell, who will head off to the penalty box already with one man in for Quinnipiac. Now getting a little crowded in there. Hunter Nell joining. Luckily for Quinnipiac, up gets Brendan Fitzgerald as his time is done in the penalty box, but it'll be still a man advantage. A little confusion there with those whistles as I believe Quinnipiac thought they might have had too many on the field there, with penalty coming off of Fitzgerald and on to Nell at the same time. On our end, it stays a man advantage for the Brown Bears, who have this one even 2 apiece. Burkowski sprints all the way down the field. A long way to go before making that pass. Brown continues to circulate here. And now back to even action as that ball rolls out of bounds with possession going towards Quinnipiac. Jared Chase now. And now possession's going to head Brown's way as they stop the attack. The whistle there in their favor. On our end, we have just under 3 minutes to go in our first half of action. Again, we don't have any way of confirming that for sure, but we're been pretty accurate through our first game, so hopefully. There's a flag on the play. Flag remains down as that shot taken by Purcell is saved by Burkowski and will deflect out of bounds into the corner. It's going to be a penalty against Jared Chase on that flag that dropped earlier on. Bears with another man-up opportunity. They'll start it from the corner with A.J. Schulman moving on in before passing to the wing. Now from the wing, a shot, another save. Burkowski's had a pretty good first half so far. Been faced with some tough shots from the Bears. The 30-second penalty expiring as that shot's deflected. We're back to even action here. The ball loose at midfield, now scooped up. Quinnipiac moving it closely onto the attack. Nick Rios dishes it to Ryan Maher. And now inside some room as Jack Crutt trying to dive forward. I don't think that's the first time that he's gone airborne here today. And that long pass from the goalie out over to Paul Montes. Luke, too, controls it as he walks his way to the corner. Checks out his options. Slowing things down here. I believe we're under a minute to go here. With two trying to wrap it around, he bounces it short. A.J. Schulman saves it from going out of bounds and will continue the action. Brown moves it as Connor Purcell passes it off over to Kosienda. Kosienda with the high pass. As we have our clock stopped on our end until we hear something happening on the field to indicate how much time's left. A flag is on the play. And the whistle's blowing. If the flag down, we'll see. It's going to go against Logan Jackson of Quinnipiac. Another man-up chance coming for the Bears. As this game's still knotted at 2. I think everyone here tuned in, and that'll do it for our first half. Oh, excuse me. A timeout called. And we'll take a break. 2-2. Timeout here as our second quarter winds down. Bears and Bobcats continue first half action when we return. Welcome back here off the timeout. We're approaching the second half. Not there yet. Hopefully there shortly, I'd have to assume. We've been under a minute on our clock for a while. We're still a man up in favor of Brown University here. The Ivy League taking part in this New England Conference Championship. The Bears passing it around, getting it to 2. Luke 2. It's had to have gotten at least 5 degrees hotter here in this since this game started. Play back underway. The shot from the wing going wide. Ball sent out of bounds. Will be Luke 2 who sends it back into play. Still haven't heard anything about how much time's remaining in this one, or at least in this quarter. Now at the wing, charging in. Bears going back and forth. A diving shot attempt rolls out of bounds. 5 seconds, I believe, is what's left in this one, or at least in this first half. Unless he said 55. Quinnipiac looking to clear it as the Bobcats push it down the field. Final whistles blow in our first half. As we enter our break, the score 2-2 entering halftime. Teams knotted. Second half when we return. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network for NCLL action. The National College Lacrosse League on the Fans Only Sports Network, bringing you the New England Conference Championship. Semifinal Game 2. Winner takes on UMass Amherst at 1:30 today. But first we have to see who can break this tie. We're even at 2 apiece. And Quinnipiac granted possession. Off the face-off to open our second half. Exciting back and forth. Quinnipiac has held the only leads here today through our first half of action, with Brown quickly coming back and tying things up both times. Bobcats just barely kept that in bounds and now encroaching closer with flag on the play as Chase goes down to the turf. It's going to send a Brown Bear to the penalty box here and give Quinnipiac a man-up opportunity. 1 minute. Going against the number 20 of Noah Silverman. In the slot, a hard shot. Directly connecting with Brown's goalie. Saving it with his body. Now Gerald Peterson. Peterson crosses through midfield, heads down the middle. Sea of Quinnipiac defenders, but the shot still getting off, missing, and it will go out of bounds. It will be Quinnipiac possession here with the man-up opportunity continuing for the Bobcats. Some discussions going back and forth. A little bit of confusion from referee to referee. Now we're back. I believe the Bobcats' man advantage ended, and that big hit draws a flag, and Brendan Fitzgerald remains down. Brennan Fitzgerald really hurting here, and
that's vicious, Stripes.
Off to the penalty box is AJ Schulman.
Thank you. 2-minute lock him in.
Schulman off for 2 minutes here. Another man-up advantage coming up here for the Bobcats. Fitzgerald up to a knee now, with his teammates and coaches surrounding him. Second injury we've had here. That stopped play.
Let's go, man, up.
Fitzgerald now looks like he'll be walking off the field. A little shaken up, but for the most part seems all right. Well, AJ Schulman the first to greet him on the sideline. Didn't intend to knock him out of this game for any part of this, but almost ready to resume action now. Quinnipiac restarts play with Ryan Maher. Maher gets it back at the point, swings to the wing, and the shot sent in. Goes wide and out of bounds. Good ball movement here from the Bobcats. Pushing it inside is where the Brown Bears interfere and knock it away. Good recovery, though, as Maher gets it back. The jump shot knocked through. Nick Rios jumping and bouncing it past for the go-ahead goal on this man-up advantage. The Bobcats lead it 3-2. Rios gets the third goal here for the Bobcats in our third quarter, and AJ Schulman will remain on the sideline with that 2-minute penalty, costing the Bears already. Still time to add on. Phillip Park being doubled up here and now evading to midfield. The overcast clouds starting to part, the sun starting to shine down, becoming a pretty bright, sunny and warm day. That pass incomplete, goes out of bounds. Quinnipiac takes over possession. And as the player up chance over for the Bobcats, they hold on to a 1-goal lead. Passed over to the wing. Quinnipiac now moving from the corner. Shot attempt. Couldn't get all of it. It's going to roll out of bounds. Possession will stay with Quinnipiac as they fire it right back into play. And another long pass that'll get out of bounds and give possession to the Brown Bears here in our third quarter, approaching the halfway mark. Good amount of fans here taking in the action as the host team Quinnipiac holds on to a 1-goal lead. Their sideline getting excited over the recent play from their team. Now Brown charging in with Connor Purcell, who scored the first one here in favor of Brown. And for another, as that one knocks off the back of the net, will roll out of bounds. A tumble from a Brown player, but possession going in favor of Quinnipiac. Play resumes with a pass to the corner over to Quinn Saltzman. Now Saltzman passes close to Lawton, and Lawton goes down. Now adds on top of it. Possession with Brown. Players substituting off here on both sides. Play back underway. Cosienda passes it. Bears move to the corner. NDX being closely defended. Now scooped up, tossed overhead. Quinnipiac sprinting up the field. A long pass, high in the air, connects. Now the Bobcats are in business as they hold it in the corner. Pass back to Jared Chase. Chase trying to direct traffic slightly as he deals it once again and sets a pick. Slung over the top, nobody home. It'll fall out a little as Jack Crut scoops it up. Bobcats losing ground there for a few seconds as that shot, a diving save made by a defender, helping out his goalie there. The Bears have been willing to put their bodies on the line multiple times, and now maybe a free opportunity scored upon by Quinnipiac. Nick Rios catches the Bobcats off guard and scoots in for the fourth Bobcats goal of the day as he gets another one, his second here. The Bobcats lead it by 2. Quinnipiac trying to make sure that if they're going to host the tournament, they're going to be in that final game.
That's what I told you, Ryan.
Inching towards that final quarter. Brown yet to have an answer in our third. Scoreless in the second half. Good defense being played to knock that out of bounds and give the Bears possession. Bears hold it at the wing. Are now rolling just out of bounds. Possession goes in favor of Brown. And a spin around shot. Brown gets the ball across for the score. The Bears cut the deficit in half. Wrap around try, good for a goal. Now 4-3. AJ Schulman with goal 3 on Brown's day, keeping them alive here in our third quarter. Push gives possession to Quinnipiac after the face-off. For the first time, I'm noticing a little scoreboard on the sideline there. Never even saw that until just now. They agree. It's 4-3 in favor of Quinnipiac. It's getting hotter in here with the sun now dipping behind a cloud as I say that. Ball rolls out of bounds. Quinnipiac sends it over the top. Brennan Fitzgerald was down hard again on the turf, but back up and sprinting down the field.
Yeah, freshman year, me and Ryan were supposed to live together. Yeah, and then Jack decided he was going to come to Quinnipiac. So I told Ryan, I set up Ryan with Sean.
Now Brown at the point, held on to by Connor Purcell. Purcell makes a move. Bounces it back to Cosienda. Cosienda now, the bounce shot knocked away. Barkowski maybe caught a break there on that bounce. That was a second chance effort, missed the mark. The referees blow the whistle as our third quarter continues with Brown in possession. Starting from the X, they'll move to the corner. Hard defense once again from Quinnipiac. In possession, whistled in favor of Quinnipiac now, and they'll move it up the sideline with John Ladaria. Quinnipiac moving forward. Pass made, and now a tight angle to get that pass through. It not completed to Maher. It goes out the sideline. Possession goes to Brown. That'll do it for our third quarter of action. 4-3, the Bobcats out in front over the Bears. We'll be back shortly with fourth quarter action after this. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network. Our final quarter of action here coming up before our championship game set to kick off at 1:30 p.m. Number 2 seed taking on the number 3 seed. The Bobcats taking on the Bears. Quinnipiac taking on Brown. The host team, Quinnipiac, has a 1-goal lead as we enter this quarter. Still plenty of time for the Bears to make a comeback and upset the higher seed and host team of this great tournament here from North Haven High School. I'm Charlie Adams here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Proud to bring you this NCLL coverage leading up to Nationals taking place next weekend at the University of Maryland. Flag on the play as play action continues. Ball passed over to the wing. Bears get it up to Purcell, who shoots and scores. The Bears come out in the fourth quarter and immediately tie it up at 4 apiece. Now, after the tying goal, we'll see the penalty. Looks like it's going to go against Quinnipiac. And it'll be the number 27 of Jack Crutt headed off here. And a man-up advantage for the Bears as we gear up to resume action from midfield. Quinnipiac wins the face-off. A man down and a push into a pile of Bears. Bears still a man up as time ticks in our final quarter. Could be anybody's ball game. The Bears are yet to hold a lead. And a sharp angle shot from Phillip Park goes wide. It'll roll out of bounds. Play resumes with Cosienda. Now a hard attempt. Still a man-up chance as Brown fires again. Burkowski saves it. It deflects out of bounds. Brown will hold on to possession. As now we're back to even action. And a shot, and Brown gets the lead. First time today, courtesy of A.J. Schulman. The Quinnipiac goalie, Will Burkowski. Crouched down, can't believe it. It's 5-4. The Bears take their first lead of the game here in our final quarter of our semifinals action. The action just heating up here, just as it is in North Haven, Connecticut, where it's, according to my watch, a toasty 60 degrees. Play resuming now. The Bobcats trailing again, the first time they've done that here today. Working from behind, Quinnipiac deals it to the corner where that pass won't connect and roll out of bounds. Ryan Maher reached up to get it but couldn't bring it down. Gives possession to the Bears, and Brown now from the near sideline moving forward. Good pass made. A flag is on the play. We'll continue the action. From the wing, the Bears now over to the point. Some frustration here from Quinnipiac players waiting at midfield as it rolls out of bounds. And first, we're going to hear this flag on the play coming. Officials called a timeout to assess the penalty. It's going to go against Brown, I believe. It's a 30-second penalty. And the 30-second penalty is going to go against Quinnipiac, so a man-up chance for Brown. Brown looking to capitalize quickly as that shot goes wide. Hunter Nell is in the penalty box for Quinnipiac. The Bears work it to the point now, sent over to the wing. A good move made, a shot taken, it goes out of bounds. The Bears will hold on to possession. And a day that started as a dreary cold day. I wish I had my sunglasses now. Got to squint to see the game action. That shot from Purcell went wide, and now whistles blow, and possession heads Quinnipiac's way.
Come on, now, let's go. Balls out, Brian.
No more man-up advantage. Quinnipiac fans looking for a penalty here.
Check your eyes, right?
Flags on the play on the far side. Quinnipiac pushes forward. Passed over to Maher. Maher takes a step back, tries to send it in close. Couldn't connect with Chase on that one. Brown scoops it up, and we'll see who this penalty's against on the Bears. Brown will be a man down here. Chance for Quinnipiac to even the action at 5 apiece. With Gerald Peterson in the penalty box, play resumes. As the Bobcats with a hard cutback, the flag's on the play again, and this might cost Brown once again. It's going to put them in a tough spot already with Gerald Peterson in the penalty box. Another foul against the Brown Bears. Sends Noah Silverman over to join.
They got 2 minutes.
A flag again coming out here.
Go.
Busy throwing the laundry here in this fourth quarter. So it's still a man-up advantage for Quinnipiac. The Bobcats are urging it on to resume play.
Penalty was released. Brown had possession at the whistle. They maintained possession.
And Brown gets possession and gives it right away. Maher moves it forward. Knockdown saved from going out of bounds. In the X now, it's back with Ryan Maher. Definitely some urgency coming from Quinnipiac as now Brown chases it up the field. Substitutions being made for Brown as they push it into the attacking zone. No more man-up advantage in favor of the Bobcats. And it's going to be Connor Purcell, who's just taking all the time in the world in the X, giving as little as possible back to Quinnipiac as Brown now just lazily passes it outside in their attacking zone. Now cutting through Phillip Park, putting a little bit of pressure on. Now even more as he takes that shot. It's missing outside. A chase down out of bounds. It's scooped up by the Bears. Purcell, to be exact, who makes the pass, and a insurance goal goes through for the Bears. Up now 6-4. Connor Purcell puts away goal 6, and it's going to draw a timeout from the Quinnipiac side with the score in favor of the Bears. 6-4. We'll be right back with more fourth quarter action after this. Welcome back into the Fans Only Sports Network. Fourth quarter action winding down between the Brown Bears and Quinnipiac Bobcats. And the Bears took their first lead of the game here in our fourth quarter, and they've extended it to a 2-goal lead. This is the first multi-goal lead on either side. It's going to take a lot for Quinnipiac, the host team, to make their way to that championship game. Running out of time, and the Bears are making sure of it as they held the ball for a lot of that last possession that preceded their insurance goal going through. Now they hold possession again as Phillip Park travels up the field. Right through midfield, he cuts to his left and will slow it down there. Making the pass over, finding it to Purcell. A flag on the play. Action continues with Purcell. Now stuck up into the corner. Another flag out at midfield. Now picking up the pace as A.J. Schulman entered into the attacking zone after waiting a little bit in the X. We'll get to hear all these penalties coming through. Pretty sure all three referees threw their flags at some point. Now on the field behind our field, we can see the UMass Amherst team warming up, leading up to their game. The championship game coming up next, as the 4-seeded team in this tournament has a real chance at making it to Maryland. Maybe not what they were thinking heading into this tournament, sitting at 2-3 and being the lowest ranked team in these 4 participating teams. They came to play against Bryant and might have an advantage against what seems to be the Brown Bears, who add on another. They're taking total control here in the fourth quarter. 7 of 4, and they lead it. And as it stands, we'd have a 4 seed taking on the 3 seed in our championship game. That kicks off at 1:30 p.m. Tune in live if you can't. Check it out on demand. Neither of those work for you. As always, our social media at FO Sports with a Z on the end. You can check out highlights, games coming up, where to watch, when to watch, everything involving the Fans Only Sports Network. Best way to stay in tune is on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, at FO Sports. Also our website, fansonlysports.com, gets you that information just as well, and the ability to purchase more games that are locked behind these kind of paywalls. Do that all on our website, fansonlysports.com. Again, sports ends with a Z. And there's the whistle. There's a hat off. And then after a little confusion, that is in fact the end of this one. 7 of 4. The Bears are moving on to the championship game here today. They'll take on the UMass Amherst Minutemen coming up shortly. 1:30 p.m. is when that game should go live. You can find it right here, and you won't want to miss it. These two teams fighting, clawing for a way to get to the national championships next weekend over in Maryland. Hope to see you there, but for us on this broadcast, we'll say goodbye. Have a great rest of your night. On behalf of myself, Charlie Adams, my cameraman, Matt Vustinos, have a great rest of your night. We hope to see you join us later on today. 1:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you then, folks.